Station 47, I was asked to talk a little about the GHD glute ham developer and why it's important for firefighters in our lifting, whether it be patients off the ground on backboards or on scoops or on prams. In all three of those positions, we're either going to get into a deadlift, a squat, or a pseudo squat deadlift position to pick them up. That's where the GHD comes in. We can use this as a secondary building machine to our deadlifts and our squatting. Three reasons why the GHD is really good. One is kinesthetic awareness, our body control, being able to move those body parts and focus on them by using the GHD and not using them when we're lifting. The core or midline stabilization, it builds all this area in here and back in here in our chain, which is important obviously in the deadlift and the squat. And then last, with the GHD, something you can't do in the weight room is you can build these muscles under no load, so for safety, if done correctly. Just really quick, so we're all clear, the hamstrings, the glutes, the erectors muscles, and when we talk about the core, I'm talking about the abdomen, all the way that core stability around the ribs. The four movements you can do with the GHD are the hip extension, back extension, hip back extension, and the GHD sit-up. And I'll quickly go over three of those. I'm going to skip the GHD hip extension today, hip back extension, and just hit the other three. First one being the hip extension. The movement is going to be coming from the hip, right? So you want to have the GHD placed in a point where your hip is free and movable of the pad. So you can see here, hip is out free, the back is straight, good lumbar curve. Lower yourself from the hip, drive up, using the glutes and the hamstrings, pulling this tight. Next one, the back extension. Just remember what the name, that's where the movement comes from. So the hip extension, the movement comes from the hip. The back extension, the movement's going to come from the back. So now we're going to drive this back a little bit. And we're going to do the back extension. This one starting out should be, even as a advanced lifter or whatever your case would be, CrossFit or runner, you want to start this in slow, controlled movement. You're going to start down. We're going to start from the lower lumbar and drive up and curl the top of the spine and then curl back down. Try and make it a vertebrae, back vertebrae. Now, with either one of these movements, the GHD, hip extension or back extension, scaling movement for someone first coming onto these who's never done before, it might just be enough to hold yourself out in a static position. Or maybe start in small increments of here or increment here. Alright? So again, you see, when we lift, it's very important, lifting patients off, to have midline stabilization, core strength, strong glutes, strong hamstrings, and the GHD can give the firefighter all those things.